Good morning. Good morning, sheep. These guys have doubled in size since they've gotten here. They're growing great. And they've been on this piece of grass for about a month. And as you can see, there's still plenty left. Very impressed with our first time raising sheep. This is all kale and turnip seed. And this is a little finishing piece for our feeder pigs. We'll let this all grow super tall, let turnips grow underneath, and then we'll put them on it probably 2-3 weeks before they go to butcher. So I was totally under the impression that I had plenty of space in this garden for everything. I don't think I do. I'm weeding out the peas right now so that they can have the soil to themselves, and I might mulch these guys because otherwise the grass is just going to keep growing back here. I didn't plant the peas where there's any fabric because we use shade cloth and landscaping fabric. But the peas I planted up against the garden fence so that I wouldn't have to put a trellis up for them. But I'm having to weed them every couple of days, especially when we get rain. So probably going to have to mulch these, which is no big deal. I have mulch on hand. But the dilemma is the tomatoes. No idea where I'm going to put them all. I thought I would have plenty of space, and then I counted my plants and realized I do not have plenty of space, and I'm also going to buy more plants this weekend, so we're going to have to figure that out. But first, let's find spots for the basil and the dill and the one singular eggplant. So these 4 spots right here I have okra seeds in. And that'll be our first time growing that, so that'll be interesting, see how it does. I've still got all this space right here. I think I'm just going to pluck in. I kind of wanted the basil mixed in everywhere, but I'm not sure if that will work yet. So I'm going to at least put the eggplant in here on this bottom flap of the garden. And some of the basil, probably the dill. I'll probably put the eggplant and the dill here. And then the basil, I'm just going to have to find spots for it. I think I'll put some of it in the boxes with the greens, because this is all empty right now, other than we have zucchini and summer squash planted over there, and we have beans, yellow beans and dragon tongue beans planted right here. But we're going to run the trellises for the tomatoes down here and do arches on either side for cucumbers and small melons to save space. However, this is my dilemma, is that I'm either going to have to go get more panels. I mean, I have more panels, they're just built into fences right now, so we'll have to dig them out. But I'm going to have to do more than one side, I think, because I already have like 22 tomato plants. And I'm not done, so yeah, so that'll be that. I think I'm gonna have to do at least 1.5 sides of tomatoes. I only wanted to do one side, but it is what it is, because I was just gonna put the peppers in here on the other side of the tomatoes, but it's looking like the peppers are gonna have to be all through here. We also have a lot of peppers, but those can be planted closer together, so that's not a huge deal. But, goodness gracious, I always get ahead of myself. All right. So my phone died on me, so I had to go plug it in. So I didn't get all of the garden stuff filmed for you guys, but we'll go over it real quick, everything that I got done. It's about 2 p.m. now. I just got done taking a shower because it was like, I could feel the dirt on my skin. It was so bad. I had cleaned out 2 animal buildings. I had cleaned off last year's tomato trellises, which still had the tomato vines on them because they were in the greenhouse. So those were super like dusty and they just kind of fell apart all over me. So I went and took a shower, and now I'm just gonna relax for the rest of the day. We're 2 hours from Paul being home. I'm gonna start dinner in about an hour. The kids are being quiet for a moment. That doesn't usually last long, but we'll enjoy it while it's here. And yeah, so we got a lot done today. I got, I think, 80 more onions in the ground. We have a total of 132 onions in the ground right now, and still at least probably another 50 more to go in, and that's with me giving some away because I was like, the whole garden can't be onions. We do eat a lot of onions though, so it is necessary to have close to 200 growing and in the ground. Hi buddy. See, I told you it wouldn't last long. So got more onions in. I got,
why did the popsicle melt?
why is the popsicle melted? Because your sister left it there. It's okay. We'll clean off your chair. It's no biggie. I got the eggplant in. I put the basil by the peas because there was a couple of peas that never came up. I weeded the peas out. I mulched the peas and the basil, which I think is going to keep the weeds off of them a lot better. It was just black mulch. I had it from the flower beds. So I know some people don't like to use the dyed mulches in their gardens, but I had it on hand. I'm sure it'll be fine. So that's done. Maybe we'll have to, do a little less weeding with the peas. Everything watered. I was hoping to not have to water because we got a heavy rain last night and we got a heavy rain the night before. It did not matter with the wind, and the sun came back out today. Everything still got super dry, especially the stuff that I just put in. And I have a lot of seeds in the ground now, and you don't want those to dry out because they're just not going to germinate fast at all if you let them dry out. So everything in the garden is all set for today, and we'll start back over tomorrow morning. The turkeys are a little scraggly looking right now. We just put wormer on them. You can say hi.
Hi.
We just put a wormer on them to get rid of the lice and the mites that they got this winter. Excuse me, sir. Be careful, please. Now, while I am enjoying this warm weather that we're getting, it is very early in the season to be getting warm weather like this. We had 2 90-degree days last weekend. We're going to go into the high 80s again this weekend. And that might seem nice, but when you're used to living in a colder climate, Central Maine area, for anybody who doesn't already know that, 4 years ago, we wouldn't get above like 65 in May. It wasn't until June that we'd start hitting like the mid 70s, and we got maybe 3, 4, 5 90-degree days all summer long. The last 3 years have been really warm. It's made everybody kind of have to change what they're doing as far as agriculture goes, and that's been rough. It's always tough when farming and homesteading has to shift with the way that the weather is acting, especially if you're not used to it. So it's been an adjustment. I'm not sure why we're getting hotter temps all of a sudden in the summertime and in the spring. Usually I would not put seeds out in May until like the last weekend of May. because we used to get snow in May regularly, and we'd even get a frost in June. The last 3 years have kind of made me more comfortable with putting seeds in this early. We've been having weirdly warm weather, so I went ahead and put the seeds in. I have more seeds if something happens. It's not a big deal. Our tomato plants are going in this weekend. Peppers we'll hold off on because we do have a couple of nights that are still hanging in the low 40s or in the mid 40s. And peppers aren't really a fan of that. So peppers we're still going to hold off on. But the change in weather up here, I think, has been consistent enough over the last few years that I'm starting to change the way that I garden. I should have put my colder weather crops out sooner, because now it is getting hotter than they'd like. I've already had like 3 broccoli plants bolt on me. So it's been an adjustment. It's been weird. We're definitely not used to being this hot up here. So I can tell you right now, my Yankee born and grown butt is not happy with this heat. I'm not a high temp person. You won't see me go to Florida to vacation or anything like that. So it's been a struggle. It's been a struggle for me. Anyways, I thank you guys for coming along with me today. Coming along with me while I get gardening stuff done. I didn't show you guys any of the animal stuff, but I just was trying to get it done. Sometimes the kids have my phones. I'm here working with 2 small children. I have a 3-year-old and a 1.5-year-old. I run the hauling business that we own. My husband works full-time at another job as well. So sometimes I don't get to catch everything on camera that I'd like to. But I'm going to try to bring you guys along with as much as possible this summer. And I thank you for joining me today, and I thank you for subscribing. Enjoy the rest of your work week, enjoy your weekends, and I will talk to you guys soon.